Hey everybody, this is Scott Dickson, head guide for Trouts fly fishing. Today I am up on the South Platte River in Cheesman Canyon. We're going to be talking about how I approach the river and reading the water up here. It's early September, the summer is starting to wind down a little bit, and we're going to go up here and see what we can find. We got up here early this morning. It's about 9:30 now. The flows are about 172 CFS, which is a great flow for this time of year. Since we've been up here, we've seen some midges, we've seen some fish coming up for the midges, a few betas. Expect to see some tricos at some point, but right now kind of the betas is what we've been seeing most of. Today up in the canyon, going to be fishing the Winston Air 2. It's a 9-foot 5-weight. It's one of my favorite rods we have, along with the Nautilus XM reel. Mainly going to be nymphing today, but hoping to get an opportunity to throw some dry flies as well while we're up here. On the rig today, throwing the indicator rigs, we're going to be using a 7.5-foot 3X leader and dropping 5X tippet off the end. Our lead fly is going to vary between leech, stonefly, or worm. Below that we got a Baetis, and then dropping behind the Baetis I have a small olive colored midge that I'm going to be using today. Currently I have the flies set up about 14 inches apart. I don't like running them too long and don't like them quite too short together this time of year. 14 seems to be my ideal length between each fly. With the run behind me that I'm going to start fishing next, generally I like fishing the water closest to me first and then gradually making my way across the water. This inside seam straight up the river by the two big rocks, right where the water is kind of coming down that center part. I'll be working a little bit to the left of that and gradually making my way across that water column, adjusting my depth as needed and just kind of moving from the downstream section up towards the head of the run as I'm fishing it. All right, gonna look right in front of myself, not seeing anything right now. So again, just kind of working my way out. As I work out, a lot of times I am going to get a little bit more line out there, but I always like those kind of quick short drifts and really kind of concentrate on getting that nice drift. Got it out there, high stick it, mend it just a touch, let it drift down through, raise up, do it again, mend it, let it come down. Lower that rod tip, let it finish that drift. Get it out a little bit further, step out with it. Little mends just to control that. I always want to make sure my indicator is moving the same speed as the water out there. Don't want it swinging through the water column. Work it out a little bit further into that slower stuff. There we go. Nice rainbow this time. Love it. Get that fish up on the reel. That's a good one. It's coming up towards me, which is good, especially when I have him a little bit downstream of myself. Perfect. Nice rainbow trout out of the canyon. Nice healthy South Platte rainbow. Thanks for playing. Let that guy go. Working that water kind of, like I said, inside to out. Working from downstream to up. Just working kind of short little drifts in through here. I'm not trying to cast all the way across the river yet. I'm just kind of working in close, then working it out. Right now I'm moving it out towards the seam where the two waters kind of converge. Putting some drifts right here in front of me. High sticking it, make sure I got some good mends to get those good drifts going. As I'm walking up through here, I'm still looking for fish as I'm getting drifts out here. You never know. You take 2 steps upstream and all of a sudden a fish that's right in front of you that you didn't see before all of a sudden appears. As I'm getting drifts right through here, I'm just kind of slowly moving out. Trying to get some a little bit further out, work through this area. I see our sun is just starting to pop out, which is going to help with the visibility as far as looking for fish out here. I know a lot of people like fishing in the shade or overcast days, but I always prefer the sunlight because that way I can see fish a little bit better. While you're nymphing out here, always is important to, if you feel a little tug or think you may have hit bottom, just check your flies out. Make sure that there's no tangles, there's no moss on it. Right now on mine I got a little moss, so got to make sure it's cleaned off. A lot of times as I'm working upstream, if I get a little moss on there, I use what I refer to as the South Platte slap, which is just essentially whipping the flies right through the water. I always like doing it downstream. You don't want to be whipping the water up on front of yourself where you're going to be fishing to. So downstream seems to be the ticket for cleaning that stuff off. Again, as I've mentioned, I'm not making super long drifts. I'm just really trying to focus on getting solid drifts right at this water in front of me. So I need to get further out. I'll just walk out a little bit, lengthen my cast a little. Try to get one coming down right along the soft edge. Have that rod tip raised. Kind of float down through there, get that good drift on it. Really like that one. Apparently the fish did not. That one's getting drugged just a little bit. Now it's in good shape. I have been seeing several fish out here rise, but it seems like every fish that I've seen that's come up is less than 12 inches. I like seeing the rising fish, but it doesn't necessarily make me excited to switch up a rig to... There we go, that's a good one. Nice. Ooh, hot fish. Oh, son of a gun. Pop that one off. 3 flies in there, go right back over. Pretty subtle take on that one. A lot of the takes you find up in the canyon are quite subtle. That indicator just barely twitches. So I'm right up in the center, kind of that swirling water. Moves around a bit, but with the weights on there, you always hope that it gets down to where the fish are. Stepping out a little bit more so I can mend and high stick a little bit easier across the moving water. Not seeing anything out here right now, but just working the water to areas that look kind of fishy. My preference is always sight fishing. There's a fish, ran right at me. Another good rainbow. Oh, I'm taking some line. I'm slide back over to the bank. I can walk around out here a little bit. Oh, a little bit easier. Lost it. Well, that one got off. So gonna move back up to where I was. Try a few more drifts over there. Again, kind of doing the same thing. Looking before I walk out. Don't want to just step on the fish as I'm coming by. Won't literally step on it, but if I see them, I always like trying to cast to them rather than spooking them off. So let's move out here again. Step out so I can high stick over that current. Get that good drift going out there. Mend a little bit. Let it go down through. Look nice. Nothing. Put it right back up and out. That drift is getting pulled a little bit, but now it's under control. High stick in, put a few mends out across. Oh. Working back in towards myself a little bit before I go back to the bank. They come right down through there, right where the two waters converge, behind that rock. And caught bottom. Got it free. Make sure it's clean. Check my flies. 1, 2, 3. I'm back in business.
Sorry for the quick interruption. If you're enjoying this video, appreciate a quick like, maybe a subscribe, hit the bell notification. We have more on the water content coming like this, more Reading Water series. Yeah, let's get back to the soft, dulcet, instructional tones of Scott Dickson.
Look again. We have some flat light today, so it's kind of tough to see right now with our cloud cover. But I always assume there's got to be stuff in through these areas. So again, kind of working the inside, gradually going to have it out a little bit further. Still looking for trout as I fish. So if I can see something that I can target specifically, that's always a little bit better. I'm going to just step up for a second. Sometimes you get a little bit better vantage point, and there's one right there. Got a good drift coming down towards him. God, oh, that was a nice fish, and I just farmed him. Well, there was one, looking for another. Again, working the inside to out. My target fish, he's gone, so I'm just doing some blind nymphing now. Gonna check, make sure everything looks good. Put it right back out there. And just gradually work it out and across this run through this swifter water through here. Oh, I take that back. I see another one right up in front of me. So again, I'm gonna go back to working the inside. As I'm fishing, if I see something, it's kind of a game time decision whether I keep working where I'm at or if I try to get some different drifts to a new fish. And since I see one, I'm going to work towards it. Oh, missed again. Okay, I've lost my target fish. Again, back out to kind of blind fishing. Put it out where you think the fish should be. Work it along the seam, control that drift by either high sticking or mending. Right through this spot as I work the inside. There's a brown trout. I can sit there and high stick most of the stuff, which works out well. Other times when I'm going further across the current, I need to mend it a little bit more if I can't reach the rod all the way out there, keep my line up. Go. Didn't see this guy, just put it to where I thought he should be, and he cooperated and ate. Another nice solid brown trout out of the canyon. That last brown ate a top secret midge, so that's the third of my 3 flies. It's at the very bottom. It's a size 22. It's the one that I have tied off the 5.5X tippet. Each drift, even if you try to cast it at the same spot multiple times, it's always going to be slightly different. And sometimes it's just different enough where it'll move right over into a trout's feeding window. You'll be able to pick one up. Gradually get a little bit more line out, step out a little bit further. Kind of high stick and mend, really working that line to get that nice natural drift down through there. Slowly stepping out a little bit further and further. Work all the way across this little run. Keeping that tip up, that line off the water. Just trying to get as natural drift as I can as I work across here. Just going to do a few drifts right in the quick water, right along the edge of where the two waters converge around this rock, and try to get that soft edge over there. My next few casts, I'm going to try to go across the faster moving water, hit some of that slow water as it pours over through here. Right out in there. A little bit tougher to get that good drift because that line wants to grab that water and pull, but sometimes it works, sometimes it does not, but you got to try it. All right, just covered that water a little bit. Gonna reel up my stuff, get back over the bank, make some minor adjustments on my flies, and try it one more time.
Certainly hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any feedback, positive or negative, please leave them in the comments. We have a couple more of these coming. Next up, I believe, is Russ Miller doing a little bit of Euro-nymph and reading water with Euro-nymphing. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.